They call me the Wanderer, yeah, the Wanderer. I roam around.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Wanderers YouTube channel. I am your host, as always, Ventura. And I may or may not be wearing pants right now, but don't worry about that. It's Christmas Day when I'm recording this, and I'm kind of drunk. But hey, let's not worry about that, because when I upload this video, it'll be January 1st, our 1-year anniversary. What? Yeah, no, it has been a long time coming, and it has been a very, very, very long year. Oh boy. We've uploaded a lot of videos, and there's been a lot of time in between those videos. Sorry about that, by the way. I know last video I said I'd be uploading more regularly, and I'd tell you guys when I go on break. It's just a matter of, well, you know, Corona, taking care of the family. The problem with literally every video I make is that I don't have enough money. But thankfully, after several months of working my tailbone off, I'm finally starting to get above the 4-digit number now. And I can start making more videos frequently and at a much rapid pace. Well, it just depends on if I run out of money again. And if I do, kinda fucked. So hey, wish me luck on that front, but we're not here to talk about money or financial problems or increasing worriness of our future. We're here to talk about TOT and the Wanderer. And on today's video, in celebration for our 1-year anniversary, I'm gonna be releasing something special. I'm gonna be releasing something to you, the public. I'm gonna be releasing the old magic system. Now, what is the old magic system? The old magic system is my own personal interpretation for the key, soul, and life triangle that I talked about in a previous video. It's essentially the explanation behind every key blast, every telepathic signal, every mind reading, basically any weird shit that happens in Dragon Ball that you wouldn't normally see in, well, you know, the real world. It's basically something that's, you know, the Force, the alchemy system, that's all I can think of. Basically, just a system of rules, abilities, and how to make more abilities in the future with a concrete set of definitions and a tree to establish powers in. And it looks a little something like this. Huh. You know, watching this video back during the editing process makes me really realize that that scene wasn't as epic as I probably imagined in my mind. But we made it in. Because I'm lazy. It took me a long while to get everything really established, put in the right place, but I think I'm finally in a spot where I can feel legitimately comfortable with what I've made. This had a hell of a lot of help and a hell of a lot of peer review from a lot of different people. Starting with, of course, my best buddy, Alinius. Get him a round of applause. Then we got Cade, Serenity, Jordan Lee even helped me on this one, and a few other people here or there that I kind of can remember, if I'm being honest. I made this almost a year ago, but I haven't had the chance to really explore upon it until, oh, I don't know, 3 months ago. So, yeah. But the point of the system is to not only be for our own TOT project, the Wanderer, and so on and so forth. I'm giving it over to you guys, the fellow fans of Dragon Ball, any fan manga creator, OC maker. The whole point of the Wanderer TOT series is to bridge the gaps in lore of the Dragon Ball multiverse and give us concrete rules to work with and a well-established background in lore. And I would be more than happy if you, the watcher that are sitting there right now, were to use this in any future DBZ project that you were to make. Hell, if you even have any ideas that you want me to add to the list, there will be a Old Magic System Google Doc down in the description below for you to add your own abilities into the placeholder that you wish to put it in. And I'll be canon for your series. If you can think of any power that I didn't bring up in the DB series, and my own personal powers that I brought up in the list, you can put it down there in the description below and you can make it a part of the list, and I will have no problem with that. Just as long as it follows two little criterias. One, it doesn't counteract already existing powers in the list. What I mean by that is, if it's basically telekinesis by a different name, then it's gonna have to be taken off the list. But if you can think of something entirely unique and new that doesn't contradict with another existing power, go right ahead, add it to the list. I will be more than happy to see your creations in the Google Doc, and I think it'll be really fascinating to bridge the project outwards a bit towards the fans a bit more, and really make this a community project like I've wanted to for so long now. I guess you could call this a call to arms, but it's not really that. It's just more like, do with it with what you will. If you don't want to contribute, that's fine. I'm not saying that you have to. And if you do want to contribute, all the better. I want this to be something that we could all work on together as fellow fans of Dragon Ball to make a concrete, hard magic system for Dragon Ball. Now, I also just want to say real quick, when I say magic system, I'm not trying to make the implication that Goku can fire off Avada Kedavras from his wand and then ride off into the sunset with Chi-Chi on his magical flying broom. That's not what I'm saying. This is still a spiritual thing. It's very tied into things like chi or chakra, real life examples of it. However, in my opinion, I've always considered things like the Force or, hell, even this Dragon Ball system to be quote-unquote magic. Even though I know it's not magic. But old spiritual system doesn't exactly roll off the tongue just as well. So don't let the word magic confuse you. It's still linked to the spirit, but there are examples of legitimate magicians on this list, like Babidi, Boo, and Bibbidi. Like, their powers are linked to this, same with Moro as well. In my opinion, the word magic has always been the manipulation of the spiritual and physical of our universe by unnatural means. And I think that definition applies to this system that I've created. Again, I'm not saying that Goku's gonna go to the world of wizardry. I'm only saying that the definition that I just described fits the system the best. After this video, there's going to be 3 other parts of the old magic system that I'll discuss. The key tree, the life tree, and the soul tree. Not necessarily in that order. Each one is its own component that makes up the greater whole of the old magic system. And for this video in particular, besides it just being the 1-year anniversary celebration, we're going to be going over the general background for what the old magic system is. Starting with the general description. Life, soul, and ki. We as sentient beings use these fundamental energies in everyday life, and even some use it for survival. But survival is only one facet for their use. Tranquility, understanding, and most importantly, harmony, is one of the few things capable in the near infinite sea of how you can control not just your own ethereal energies, but the energies of the cosmos itself, to be one with all of creation, whether that be for good or evil. With life comes ki. With ki comes soul, and with soul there is life once again. This is the triangle of life. Life is the spark. Ki is the flame of that spark, and soul is that flame raging on for eternity. This is the power of the triangle of life, everlasting life and harmony with our universe. We can manipulate these inner energies within our body to connect with our universe at large, and your own inner spirit, your will, your true intentions and desires will reflect the choices in what you can channel, and more importantly, how. This is known as the spiritual attunement system. more positive and peaceful or zen emotions, or lack thereof, will give you a more connected view with the universe around you. This is the path of the wise man or the monk. This is labeled as the angel side or the Kaioshin side, whilst more negative, aggressive, or selfish emotions will give you access to more powerful, insidious, and or parasitic abilities as your own spirituality adopts a more darker and defiant signature, coordinating yourself off from the rest of the universe. This is typically the path for those who go against the grain or refuse the order of the gods. This is labeled as the demon side, or the Makaioshin side. Now, despite how that may sound on your first listen, that's not an indication of it being a binary good versus evil system, whether you're bad or good if you choose one side over the other. This isn't a case of where everyone that uses the Makaioshin side is automatically evil. It's not that case. To use my own series as an example, there are maybe some future showing up characters that may use this side and be on the side of the angels, you know. And there are some people on the Kaioshin side, the angel side, that are the villains. I mean, the whole dynamic of the Wanderer series is that Wanderer is not the nicest person in the world, even though he's the protagonist, and his main antagonist, Agent Orange, is, well, the villain, but he's arguably even more heroic than the Wanderer. This old magic system just emphasizes that theme from my series. Not everyone from the Makaioshin or demon side is evil, and not everyone from the Kaioshin or angel side is good. There's a nuance to it. Everyone's different. Just because you're zenful or peaceful doesn't mean that you're beyond doing some pretty fucked up things for a really, really fucked up cause. And the Makaioshin and demon side aren't exclusively evil just because they're more negative emotions. There are always going to be specific situations and scenarios with extenuating circumstances. But getting off that little tangent real quick and getting back into the main fundamental thing here, speaking of fundamentals, the triangle of life, something I've brought up in a previous video, link in the description below, is also something that makes this entire system possible besides spiritual attunement. In fact, you could consider this the Mac Daddy of it all. The key, soul, life, triangle of life are all components that can be explored within the 3 trees that will be listed in the other videos below. Each one with its own unique style of use and its own unique placement in the triangle. This entire system is centered around the idea of manipulating one of the 3 or all of the above, each one with its own speciality involved. These 3 fundamental energies of all organic life are the source of strength for all life forms, whether they know it or not. Just sitting there and watching this, you are using universal magic, or old magic as I call it. Just being alive with energies that course through you is in itself magic. Hell, people like Goku and Vegeta are 2 of the strongest mortals out there, and they have only scratched the surface of potential abilities that can be capable by using ki, let alone life and soul. And like I said at the top of this, the potential abilities one can think of are nearly infinite. Just as long as you have 3 things: the knowledge to make those ideas come true, the fortitude to not let such power corrupt you, and the will to have the universe in the palm of your hand. With ki, life, and soul by your side, the gods themselves should fear any mortal with the grit to reach out for the stars. Because the amount of abilities capable for a mortal and to a god are just as vast. Take a look at the Dragon Ball Super manga. Goku could perform a Hakai, and go Ultra Instinct if I didn't mention that already. Some of the strongest abilities in the multiverse, and a mortal can use them. How crazy is that? every ability on this list, to the best of my ability of course, can be traced back to a certain scene or a power already introduced into Dragon Ball, and some that I've introduced myself just by thinking up a few. And in the next 3 videos, I will be discussing each tree and discussing every single power in that tree, and the background behind what each tree represents, and the energy source that powers all the abilities on the list. But, with all that out of the way, and everything I've wanted to discuss so far being off the checklist, I just have to say from the bottom of my heart, fuck 2020! Just categorically, from beginning to end, this year was pretty fucking shitty. Although, there is one silver lining, at least to me personally. I started my YouTube channel in 2020. I grew to 780 subscribers in 2020. I've hit several hundred, almost to 1,000 views on multiple different videos, and obviously a lot of that is from Blackscape. Thanks again, brother, for all the help that you've been giving me. But honestly, like, even though this year was bad for so many reasons, YouTube has never been one of the things I've been mad about. In fact, even though I've found it difficult to record sometimes due to lack of will and lack of wanting to record on a certain day, it's always a silver lining of my day. Even though sometimes the editing process can be a bit sluggish, it's always fun to think up stuff while I'm recording or editing videos to make you guys laugh or chuckle. It's an experience that I'm pretty sure that will follow me for the rest of my life in a very positive way. And honestly, thank you guys. Just thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. But, yeah, no, here's the hoping that 2021 is just a tiny bit better. We ended it off pretty okay, I'd like to imagine. Let's just hope that we can keep this train going, and we can have a nice 2021. But, with all that out of the way, I want to thank you for joining me on today's video. This is to the 1-year anniversary. Thank you all for joining me. And don't forget to take time out of your day to stop and smell the roses. To another year of YouTube, I am your host as always, Ventura. And I will see you guys next time.